Dear students, in this module, I'll talk about the Amazon Web Services specific reference to the databases because that is where it all started. Accessing the data, storing the data, and of course, accessing the data also. As I said in the previous module number 25, that it was a logical extension of what Amazon was offering in the context of Amazon Web Services. Now, you will be amazed to know that there are many companies and organizations which are using the Amazon Web Services. For example, you might have been watching movies over Netflix. Netflix uses Amazon Web Services not only to store data but also to convert videos in different formats and make it available and manage it, and the list goes on. So a lot of facilities and features are there. I'm not selling Amazon Web Services. I'm just telling you that this facility is out there and you must be able to use that feature and to get and to create employment opportunities for yourself. So why talking about data? Because there is a tremendous amount of data is being generated and a tremendous amount of data is being used and there's a lot of value in it. So we are drowning in data. So if you look at these figures, so that is a lot of data in year 2020 which is being generated. Now if you accumulate all of this data, that is 44 trillion gigabytes. A trillion is bigger than giga, right? So that's trillion gigabytes. And who's saying that? If you look at the screen, you see there's a lot of companies from which these figures have been accumulated and collected. So this is credible information. This is credible data. So that is the basis. So basically when Amazon Web Services were offered, it started with the data. So now point is that storing the data using the Amazon Web Services. So how do you go about it? So you have to set up your account. You just go to the website, you register yourself, you give your email address, your phone numbers and everything, and you have your account up and running. But remember one thing, that you also have to give your credit card number. So don't worry about it, because whatever content is covered in this course, if you use that material on Amazon Web Services, you will not bypass, you will not cross, you will not jump over your limit or your data limit. So your credit card is unlikely to be charged, but you should be, of course, aware of it. So you have given your credit card number, and then you access the Amazon Web Services. You go to the landing page and you can use the simple storage service, which is S3. That's what I was saying, that it started with the storage and it has seen a tremendous amount of the objects which were stored. So I was reading somewhere that the time it took a couple of years to reach a trillion objects on Amazon Web Services stored, but in 10 months it was doubled. So what you see over here is the Amazon Web Services landing page, and we have over here, which is the S3, which is the simple storage service, and we have the Glacier also. I will briefly talk about it. And we also have over here other services also. So these all, we have DynamoDB also over here also, which is database, and we have Elastic Beanstalk. So you see there are many things which are available over here. This is a server over here. So this is the landing page. When you log in, you land on this page. So there's a lot of facilities over there, and I would really love you to explore this, use this, and get expert in this area. Now these are the global physical infrastructure I was mentioned over. So this is the Elastic over here. Okay, this is basically you can attach the memory to a virtual machine and detach and then attach also. Then we have the Glacier over here, which is for archival purposes. This is the database, Dynamo database. So the point I'm trying to make over here is that the E over here is elastic. Now what does elastic means? What does elastic means? Elastic means that when the load comes, the capacity is made available to you, and when the load or the requirement goes down, the capacity goes away. So the beauty of this approach is that you only pay for what you are using. So that's the beauty. So we have these different services I was talking about: the simple storage service, the Elastic, the Block, the Glacier used for archival, and so on. So the point is that all of these services, they have their own application domain, they have their own features, they have their own application areas, they have their own pros and cons. So as a AWS user, you should be aware of the strengths and the application domains of all of these services. In the next slide, I will give you a comparison. So as I was saying, that there is a large list and a domain of the Amazon Web Services. Now we only look at with reference to the storage only. So S3 is economical, economics, pay as you go, right? And Glacier is for archival. If you have large data sets, it is easy to use, it is self-service. And this is the elastic storage over here. So this reduces the risk. And Amazon EFS, file storage for use with Amazon ES2 for the servers. So you see that there is a whole bunch of different storage choices depending upon your application, depending upon your need, and you can use them, access them as per your requirement. I hope it will help you, and as you go into more details, you will learn more. Thank you very much.